We need to be resurrected. We're coming from the ashes and somehow we're alive. I don't know. But if you're into death and you're into sexy things, then that's necrophilia for you. But listen, I'm so sorry. Listen, how you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
All right, nice to meet you.
Fantastic, Troy.
Boo.
Miami,
Yeah.
everything's great.
BitGod.
How you been?
I'm good, man.
Great.
I'm totally good. I'm back from Miami. Well, you guys are back from Miami. We'll get to that later.
We saw each other across the world last
Dude,
week. Across the states.
We saw each other in Amsterdam.
We had a blast.
We did have a blast.
We really did, huh? That's kind of crazy.
We ordinal pilled everyone, man.
We
did it.
I don't
We
know.
won.
I think I personally think you always need to have a silver-haired fox or a silver-haired woman fox. I don't know if you call a woman with gray hair, silver fox. But you have to have them at an event because people think, oh, they're important. I should listen.
You're like 104, right?
I'm 104.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm 104, and I will outlive you guys, as I always say. So we're doing.
But don't censor us, though.
I will not censor us. We are trying to be censored. BitGod, can you bring this up? What the fuck is going on here?
The Bitcoin Core MFers are trying to censor us ordinal MFers. What the fuck is up with that?
What the fuck? And they submitted to the
they're looking at us like we're little spam, like
this
we're little
is a free
bugs.
chain, though.
Yeah, this ain't their chain.
I thought we could do whatever you want. I thought it was decentralized.
Okay, let's get serious here. The NIST, the National Institute of Sex Traffickers, like what is? No, I'm kidding. It's
the National Institute for Standards and Technology.
Okay,
right?
I totally got that part.
Yep.
So what the fuck are they seriously trying to do? And is that government agency actually taking this seriously at all? And do we give a fuck? And can it be stopped? Or can we be stopped? What are your thoughts, BitGod?
OMB cannot be stopped, right?
OMB
so
cannot
that's
be
first.
stopped.
I mean, listen, I think to your first question, like, are they taking it seriously? I don't think so, right? And I think it's just the beginning. We'll see, but I doubt it, right? Like, at the end of the day, these MFers can't really do anything. And again, like, ordinals are just pure capitalism.
I feel like, and I'm a Metallica fan, I feel like the Laser Eyes are like Metallica, Lars Ulrich, and James Hetfield trying to fucking talk to Napster by suing, them and stuff like that. And it's just like, you can't Napster, like we're Napsterfying this whole blockchain stuff, whether it's Bitcoin or Solana or ETH or any other chain. Like, this is the definition of like, no, we're self-sovereignty. It's our fucking, we're our own banks. We're our own people. We're our own money. We can handle it better.
Yep.
But
with
yeah.
Pepe memes, we are the Metallica to Napster, right? We are winning.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't understand these
So
references.
so let's focus on this. Who's fighting back on ordinals?
I mean, there's no fight. It's literally,
like
old
13
man
MFers.
yells at cloud, stop doing this. But the thing is, like, Luke calls it a bug, and it's a bug that, like, he says we're going to fix in the next patch. The thing is, the entire Bitcoin blockchain is democratized. It's a decentralized democracy. If we want changes to go through in the Bitcoin blockchain, like fixing a bug, we need to have majority consensus agree with that. Majority consensus do not agree with that because there is a bag to be made. Miners are happy, and Bitcoin is getting used for the first time. It's just people who don't like change. And, like, I get it. Discord changed their mobile app recently. I fucking hate it. It actually made me mad. And that made me realize I get why the Bitcoin maxis are mad now. So I sympathize, but y'all can suck my dick.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Fuck Discord. They've like that new app, but let's not focus on them. So who would be affected right now? We got the Bitcoin devs, miners, and regular ordinal MFers, right? So like this would affect everything that we'd be doing here.
Totally.
And is this like a brush aside?
Yes.
The ordinal motherfuckers are not even worried about this.
Nope.
We continue to
I mean,
build.
I think there are some MFers that really do believe that this is a problem, but in reality it isn't. And so I think like you're even seeing the flow or the spillover into like, okay, if this is actually going to happen, like there is some people that do believe it. I'm going to buy stuff that I believe is not going to be affected by that. And it's been like stamps. It's been like these Doginals and like Litecoin anols, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Like
Bellinals.
people do really believe though that this could have an effect, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. So I don't know. I think for the most part though, most people don't believe it, but there is a little bit of spillover I'm seeing into other assets on Bitcoin.
Okay, worst case scenario, best case scenario.
Worst case scenario is we're finally free. We don't have to get in trouble for rugging anymore, Troy. We could just leave.
Yeah, we can just pack up and leave. Are we going to another chain, or are we going to be sad? Because today, like, we'll get to it at the end, but, like, today is a year anniversary of the ordinal inception.
It's a huge
really.
day.
It's a huge day. So, like, best case scenario is, like, leave us the fuck alone. Let's show you how it's done. We don't have it all figured out, but they don't have a better idea.
No.
Like, the people. And who's fighting for that side? Is there, like, proliferation of on the timeline with the laser eye maxis? And who's listening to them?
The best case scenario here is really like ordinals becomes the largest ecosystem of non-fungibles and fungibles in the world, right? That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. No, I like that. Well, and what's Casey's thoughts? I mean, he's obviously full steam ahead doing his shit and just coding and building on the protocol with the help of the core, the core team and everybody else who's contributing. Do we hear his thoughts about this?
Yeah. So in Miami, like he was on a couple panels, right? He was on a couple fireside chats, and he was asked about this. Ocean mining, Luke Dash Jr., and he's just like, There's nothing here. like it's literally like 2 or 3 people that are very loud on Twitter, and that's it. It's like even Bitcoin maxis are like, what are you talking about? Like, we like this for miners.
It's embarrassing.
So I feel like Casey's just sitting there coding and just saying bing bong. You know what I mean? I imagine that's what he would be saying to me. So thank you. Oh, hold on. Yes, Troy speaking. Ordinals are dead. Casey, what's up, man? Listen, I didn't, I sat next to you at one event at the Cypherpunk house, and then I saw you at some other event, and then I was in an Uber with like Zero and Stephen Chen, Cubes, and we were going to the Cypherpunk house, and I knew right from then. It's like, how is Casey? Like how is it like to meet him? And he said, well, he doesn't like, accolades, just like treat him like a real person. I said, you know what? I don't want to be an inorganic guy and meet you haphazardly. So I sat next to you on the couch while Violetta was singing that awesome song, and she was talking about how her mom, taught her about Web3, and I was like, parent-child, and that's the way, I made the room laugh, and that was my intro to you, man. So hopefully you're watching the show, and I'll let you know when you can be on. Thank you so much, Casey. All right.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you so much.
Right. So after this, what's in the news? Bitcoin shroom sales, Sotheby's. What the fuck is going on? How did that happen? I did read about it. I read another article today and how that all went down, but I want to hear how you guys heard about it and what you guys think about it.
Bitcoin shroom. Low inscription number 38, also 671, also 731. I think I got my numbers a little wrong. Sold at the Sotheby's, 241 racks, and the other 2 sold for 105 racks.
Okay.
We're so fucking back.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. So what are Bitcoin shrooms? Sub 1,000K. They were inscribed last year at some point, right? And they have elements of like Mario Brothers, Wall-E, I think Batman, and another kind of like huge IP. And the Shroom Toshi is the artist that did it. There's 1,000 in the collection, and one of the shrooms has a hat, which is like the Mount Gox kind of symbolization. There's a lot of symbolism going on, and Sotheby's somehow is what is it? Eric Buhaha? What's his name? Buhan? Eric Buhan.
Yeah, Buhani.
This is their Sotheby's first ordinals like onboarding sale in history.
Yep.
I mean, right before today's birthday of ordinals, like this is unbelievable. And I mean, these sales are close to 500,000, 3 of them.
I actually think like it could have gone for a lot more if it wasn't through Sotheby's.
Okay.
And I think the reasoning for that is just like KYC. Right? I think like if it was on chain, if it was, through some sort of other platform, I don't know, maybe like Gamma, it would have gone through for, I don't know, maybe double that?
It sold for 5.7 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I think it could have sold for like 10.
I think so.
But I don't know if you saw, but in the last 15 minutes of the auction, it literally went from 150K straight to like 240K.
Yeah. And
I don't think it had to jump that hard, but that motherfucker wanted it so bad.
So why do you think Sotheby's chose that project?
Because it's literally the first collection on Ordinals. And it's dank art. I mean, it's kind of like a fuck you to Nintendo. I'm actually really interested in how Nintendo is going to see that. Our shrooms just sold for 240K on Ordinals?
I mean, listen, I think I've already talked to a couple people that have some history with the shrooms, and they had it checked out with their lawyers, and it's all good. They state it's all good, so there's no sort of like
IP related.
There's no
IP related things.
Related stuff.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Shroom Toshi, you consider him the founder, but he didn't want to have any part of like he didn't sell that collection to them, right? I mean, how did they onboard? It was just those 3 elements, right? So I'm just curious that there are, because it's sub 1K, there are other collections that are actually, the pricing on those weren't that high yet.
Yeah.
And these bids are actually making that astronomical and putting them on the map and putting ordinals on the map and having attention there.
I want to say related to that, especially as I'm a sub 10K founder. You're a sub 10K founder. This is so validating for our sub 10K bags. It is fan-fucking-tastic. Because this sale puts it on Magic Eden's map. Everyone sees, oh my God, a low inscription. It only sold for that much because it's inscription number 38. Low inscription number is selling for this much. It got to carry to the rest of the sub 10K collection, the sub 1K collection, the sub 100K collection.
So the real question Butoshi is asking is when Sotheby's Ordnauts and when Sotheby's the
Battalions.
the battalions and the Bitcoin booze.
Yep,
really.
booze.
But really, like there's some Wait, you have something to say?
I do. I think like.
God, I have to say, I'm fucking supercharged right now.
Oh, I'm supercharged too. Like, let's go, man. Let's go.
I need to slow down.
No, but what I was gonna say was what's interesting is I wonder what would have happened if the Shrooms went on auction this week, but we didn't have the 10.8 Bitcoin sale for inscription number 8 last week. Like, that set the stage for everything.
Yeah,
so like,
I like that. The general who bought that, the inscription number 8, and before that swept all those OMBs, swept those 2 Bitcoin rocks, and then bought a third one subsequently, and some other projects as well. He bought some knots too. We did, that was amazing. Thank you, General. This guy is a literal financial muscle, and I'm wondering how far deep that goes, and on back channels, how much. Like, we're gonna get to NodeMonks here in a second, but like how. I'm just wondering if there's a connection to how Sothebys knew about, got into bed with, the Bitcoin Shrooms, and then how all this news started happening with the general buying those things. Like, how does that stuff happen? Like, what made them choose to go, we're going to go to Ordinals right now and pick that project? Like, I know I just asked that, but it's just interesting to me that I'm wondering if there is any kind of like fabricated or manufactured kind of sales or anything like that. I'm not trying to call shade, but that leads me to like the NodeMonke drama that's been happening.
Yeah.
So we can get into that right now. So the NodeMonks sub 100K project, 10,000, first 10,000, K project, inscribed, pixelated project. They gave out a bunch of honoraries. They just inscribed those and sent them as a separate collection.
Speaking of the honoraries, I can't believe people floored those.
Did
you see that?
I got one. I didn't floor it. I just did.
Gosh, man.
That's your honorary?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So I didn't even think about that, and I'm not even thinking about. I just haven't been on the computer that much because I've been traveling. But I'm just wondering, the drama. Let's set it up here.
Wait, I want to call people out. Why the fuck do you floor your honoraries? Like, are you kidding me, bro? Okay, first off, there's
that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Come on.
The first thing is, okay, you list your honorary. The second thing, who the fuck is buying these honoraries? Why are you buying art of another man?
I don't know though. I think that these are going to be valuable too. Let's just say they never do any more honoraries, and like
y'all deserve no honoraries ever
but
again,
like
sorry.
NodeMonks goes to, I don't know, like 3 Bitcoin each. Like if that's the floor, you know what I mean? Like,
maybe they should wait. So let's set it up.
Okay,
let's set it up for people that maybe don't know.
I'm getting too ahead of myself here.
So they were going to do a free mint. Then they talked about they got a $5 million VC funding offer that they declined. Right? So we're like bullish, but also it's kind of skeptical, like what's happening there? Is that just like fake news to bolster up the hype? And then they redirected and said, we're going to do whitelists now, which when there weren't whitelists before, and we're going to do charities based on our list. Founders would find out from their community how many whitelists they would want, then they would gather that money and pay for it. Founders wouldn't get a whitelist, and also the people in their community weren't guaranteed a whitelist. Then a week later, that went to shit, and then all of a sudden, they were going to do an auction or something like that, and somehow the pricing of that added up to $5 million and $1. So this is something that seems like, I'm not saying it's happened on ETH, but the whole game plan seems kind of fabricated, and we've seen that before, and I'm just wondering, who's controlling the market? We don't know who the founders are. We do know some of the user handles. I've been talking to them on the side. They're really funny, and I actually texted them last week. I was like, yo, how can we turn this around? They have a sense of humor, and they are even joking about, hey, we're just gonna mint, and we're just gonna run. And I'm like, well, I guess they can do that, and then people, in this space, people do, they reward bad behavior. And I'm not saying NodeMonks are bad behavior, but I'm just wondering, like, do you think like Sothebys, NodeMonks, there might be some leaders that are, on the team that are connected, like at a high level to places like Sotheby's and Shroom, the Bitcoin Shrooms in some way. Do you see what I'm trying to string together here?
I will say that Shroom Toshi and the NodeMonkeys are not related at all. They're totally different people. Don't ask how I know. I just want to put.
Anyway,
I don't know. I think your theory is a little bit far fetched.
Well, fuck you, man.
I mean,
like seriously, like stick it in your rear.
I think it's a bit crazy, but you're probably not. I don't know. Maybe you're not far off. I don't know. Like, I think the way that they've been doing things so far has been pretty crazy. Like it sucks to see like them flop from, like donations to free to donations to, which they are doing now in some sense, right? Like I think they're going live with an auction that's going to charity soon, right? For the most rares.
Okay.
So that's still happening. And then you, of course, do have the rest of the collection going live later this week or next week. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're answering. Is this a rug or not?
I don't think it's a rug.
No.
Like I think it's a historical collection that is really interesting and really unique.
And sometimes you do need to change strategies in a project. So like, when is it okay to do that? Like, we have to pivot in this world. This is not like any other world where you can fuck up and you can take 2 months. Like, on the timeline, MFers will let you know if you fucked up. If your mint has gone bad, they're going to let you know. If you've done the wrong thing or announced the wrong thing, they're going to let you know right then. And then you have a choice as a founder to go, fuck this, I'm going to cry. My spine is too weak. And then I'm just going to like rug. I haven't doxed, and that'll be that.
Troy, let me just ask you this, though. I feel like it's a simple question. Like,
yeah. No,
do you think the NodeMonks are the CryptoPunks of Bitcoin?
Yes.
I think they could be if they shut up.
Okay.
Yeah.
If they just shut up a little bit, be fun. They are being fun, but like all these numbers and founders getting whitelisted and charity and stuff like that. Like I said a few weeks ago, MFers will give money to charity, but they usually want something in return. This isn't the space for charity only. Like, if you're going to do a charity, make it just about that. Because they were expecting NodeMonks. They were expecting to buy those things. And now you're adding charity on top, and then you just pivoted away from that. So it makes you look a little bit like it's built on shale. So now we're moving ahead, and I'm just wondering,
Well, are you, okay, wait, question for both of you. Are y'all still minting, though?
I mean, I might. I don't know.
Yeah, man. You know that.
Yeah, fuck
Look,
it.
Like, come on, man.
Like, so, I mean, the whole thing is, right? Is first you got like, oh, we're going to the charity. I actually really like that. I already have like 100K in donation pool set up. So it's kind of like upsetting I can't like pull that off. And then they're like, okay, we're doing Dutch auction because, well, we got too many emails. It's going to be difficult for charity. Okay, that's cool. But the thing is, Dutch auctions, as you know, in crypto history are kind of like the way to extract the most value. I mean, if they donated to charity still as promised, I'm perfectly okay with it. But this thing, the change in Miami, I have heard so many people talking shit because valid, but we're still max minting. I still want my NodeMonkeys. You still got the provenance. You still got the art. You still got the history. And it's funny as fuck that it's in everyone's mind. If a project makes people mad, that's bullish.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing is I feel like everyone in Miami and their grandma was like, we hate this, blah, blah, blah. But like we all know like they're going to mint. Yeah. Like, we all like they're just telling us that to like not to maybe think like we're not going to mint.
Actually, don't mint. None of you guys should mint.
I mean, look, people will mint, and then who knows? Maybe the project can be handed off. I mean, look, if they already got the mint money, you like don't sell the project. It isn't a brand yet. I mean, unless you've LLC'd it or anything like that or trademarked it, like, take the mint funds, let somebody take it over and build from there. Or if it's CryptoPunks, you don't have to do anything with it. It's just sitting there, pretty and sexy on the blockchain, which is called Bitcoin, in an ecosystem.
And I think that's their hope, though,
in
right?
an ecosystem that's called Ordinals, which is dead, which is why we're here.
Yes, but I think that's their hope in some sense that, like, they don't maybe need to. Like, that's what I'm sort of getting from, a lot of the tweets and all that sort of stuff, that it's like, okay, this is the art. That's exactly what you're getting. It's pretty historic. Enjoy it. We're out.
Okay.
Speaking
of that, you mentioned Art Basel. Let's do an Art Basel recap. Ooh. What was like, look, okay. Yes, I was arrested first night after I met Conan at the airport. Some of you may have saw that. I walked outside. I don't know. I just got in the wrong car. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I ended up getting arrested, and then all of a sudden, everything was fine. They found out who I was. I have no criminal record, and then my week started, which was on an uplift, and I was there for like 7 or 8 days. I had my whole place to myself. It was a 3-bedroom, suite. It was kind of a mansion, and
you stayed at the Cypherpunk house, right?
I stayed near Art Basel, and then my buddy Rosenbaum showed up a few days later, and it couldn't have been the best time. He's from Art Blocks, and he's just a fucking OG, and I'm glad he was there. But like, I had a great time, dude. I met people like from like the bear marketers from Solana, Chainsy, fucking Birkin bags who drew 500 of the green eye OMBs.
Yep.
I hung out with Hodl Solana. I fucking bummed a cigarette. I don't even smoke, but I bummed a cigarette from this dude at the Gamma party. And later on, we were talking. I go, oh, it's Tony, the artist from OMB. Next thing you know, we connect on some past issues that we both identify with, and I loved his story. We talked about parenting, and because I have a child, he has children.
Yeah, I want to give a great shout out to just like all of the people that were there, right? Like,
go ahead, bro.
Like Tony, like Witters that did, the mural, like all the Ordinal MFers that were sort of showing up. You had Violetta that was singing songs. You had, of course, all the Gamma artists that were sort of showcased as a part of their whole event. Like everyone really showed up. Like just all the people I've seen for the past 6-7 months, like there.
They really did. Fucking Nakeeb
showed up and showed out.
Nakeeb flew from fucking Singapore, 27 hours, was there 2 days, came right the fuck back, and took like Ordinali and Danny Huepo and non-fungible Jan and like 15 others, and they did something in Thailand or something like that.
Taiwan.
Like Taiwan. Excuse me, guys. Taiwan on. So listen, one of my favorite moments is when Brain Pasta, who hasn't left Michigan in a while, and he used to come here all the time, he was on the floor and he met Bunzy, and they were doing art together on the fucking floor at a party. And I was like, dude, this is what it's all about. But what about your experience, man? Because to me, I hung out with Leap for a second, and I said, Leap, you got to meet Butoshi. I said, Butoshi wants to meet Frank DeGods. And Butoshi, to me, is the Frank DeGods of the Ordinal space. He's 21. He's full of, he's sub 10K project, and he's open door, and he's ready to learn, and he's ready to crush it, and he's already been crushing it. I'm like, that's going to happen. He wants you on the space, and I think people need to hear that. People need to hear our voices on cross chains, because we're just fucking people. So tell me about your experience at Art Basel.
Oh my God, dude, Miami. Art Basel was such a cook. First time being 21 in Miami. So like, go through the business. Were you guys able to pull up like the conference pictures or whatever? I don't know. I was a speaker.
Please be naked and please be naked pictures and incriminating.
So I spoke. So at the Ordinals conference, which was on the 7th, it was first off the second main Ordinals focused event that we've had only in 10 months. The first one was in Amsterdam. This was the first one in the U.S. So I was fucking sick. I was a moderator for Chris, who ran Console DAO, so that was sick. That was like my first time moderating a panel. Everyone said I did good. Chris said I did really good as an MC. I was like, you're the first person I ever MC'd, and he was like, wow. And then 2 hours later, we had the main conference panel, which was the community one with Owl, our inscribed Pepe God, Ragsy, a dope-ass artist, and our Ico Queen Zero. And I moderated that. And in the email, they told me, just pretend like you're on the Ordinals Are Dead show. That's exactly what I did. They said we had the most hype and the most fun panel. So we killed it. That was my biggest thing this trip. And then the next couple of days, went to the Rug Radio Mansion. And I did get to meet Leap. And Leap actually knew who I was. He saw my profile. He
Cause of me, bitch. Cause of me. No, I'm kidding.
But it was cool. I got to talk to because Leap is one of my most favorite. I got to meet I already met Thread Guy here, IRL Alpha, but he's one of my most favorite influencers. Leap is literally my favorite Spaces host. He's just a chill ass motherfucker. It was cool getting to meet him. And we just talk. I showed him booze and the project and AI things and Ordinals. He was like, come on the space whenever you want. And I was like, that hit my heart hard. I really appreciated that. So I definitely want to do that. And then the rest of Miami was a cook. Oh, hold on. Buckets OD Labs party. Ooh. That shit was so hard. Look, I literally went to John's Summit at the nightclub the night prior. Oh. Straight ass, bro. I couldn't even dance.
What?
OD Labs, first 30 minutes, I walk in. DJ's going hard as fuck. So we're just killing it all night. I think they got me on the clips, and then we had Trippy Labs the next day.
Oh my God, Buckets kills it.
Buckets murdered it, bro.
Buckets is like a young old man, dude. The guy is just focused. He's not much of a joke teller. He's just there to crush it. He's got OD Labs, a very big XR company. A lot of people working with him. They haven't taken any VC funding through big parties. And I just like that we were just seeing people there and not going, oh, they're on that chain. Who gives a fuck about the chain? I mean, certainly we care here and there, of course. But I was there to meet people. And if some people got orange pilled, sure. But meeting the Solana MFers, I come from that area as well. These young kids wanted to meet me, and I fucking just love meeting everybody. I'm like, dude, I like meeting people and don't even know what they do, because then you find out after, oh, I met you before, and that's when it was real, right? All the other stuff, that clout shit, I'm not even into, so I love that.
What surprised you the most about the whole conference?
What surprised me most?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is that I wish Art Basel was like Marfa. It's too fucking spread out. You got to herd fucking cats. So trying to get you and 15 others to go, guys, are we going yet? It just takes forever. Yeah. You're fucking tired. But by the time you get there, it's an hour away, and then that event's over, and then you got to go over there. And I don't like that. Marfa's self-contained. You can get to everything. But so I'm definitely going to Marfa. But I don't know. I just generally, one of my favorite moments was watching Overlord buy 2 fucking Bitcoin boos right on the fucking boardwalk outside of Scope. He bought one from your sub 10K, and he bought from the second collection. And right there in front of us on his phone.
Overlord, you're the fucking because it's
legendary.
Like that's how a majority of boost sales happen in person. Like I go to in-person event, like with BitGod. I just talk to BitGod or fucking Rosenbaum in the back. I just talk to them about like my boo vision, like what I want to do with AI, the project, history, lore, and then they go,
IRL is the alpha.
What's your floor price?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. I'll tell you what my floor price is. Here's the Magic Eden link, and then they buy it live, and I record it, and it's just fun. But yeah, Overlord, we just met him at the boardwalk. I actually met him first in Amsterdam. He remembered me. He remembered the boo team, and we just talked. And I talked to him more about like boos and inscriptions and AI. And I said we're sub 10K. He was like, "You're sub 10K?" Ooh. And he just like literally bought it on the spot. And I was like,
yeah, I saw Bitcoin coming out of his fucking phone buying your shit. Okay.
Did you ordinal pill any MFers?
I ordinal pilled so many motherfuckers.
No, but okay.
What?
You did?
Wait,
Yeah.
Troy, you didn't?
Dude, I don't have to, man. I got gray hair. People look at me. They're like, that guy.
What was the point of going out there?
That guy's as old as the Bitcoin chain. He's like, I'm gonna hang out with that guy, that gray-haired motherfucker. So listen, two things that stuck out to me. You said what surprises me.
Yeah.
When I saw you, motherfucker. When you got to the Gamma party, I didn't see you yet. It was the beginning of the week, and I'm talking to some people, and I'm looking over, and I'm like, look at this big motherfucker. He's got some shorts on that are like sweatpants shorts and a holy shirt, and he's so relaxed, and he's just like a cherub of a guy. We've known each other for a while. And I'm like, that motherfucker is punk rock. And I go, dude, what are you wearing? He goes, dude, I couldn't get my hotel. I couldn't get access, so these are the clothes I had. I go, dude, you don't know how great that looks. Like, you're not even trying. You don't give a fuck. You've just like blurred lines, and I'm loving that, right? My other second thing, I watched somebody trying to orange pill somebody, and that was Elok. Elok wasn't really trying to onboard somebody, but we were at the Gamma party, and we were talking about Amsterdam with this really tall dude who didn't speak the language, and who comes to IRL, and Elok was just not saying who he was. And Elok is just really like kind of like chill and kind of like talks like this kind of whatever.
Wait, he got his voice perfect.
Yeah, so and he's just kind of like, whatever, but he's a genius. He's a core contributor to the Ordinal blockchain or the protocol. And he's talking about a 10-minute story about how ordinals work, but it's not pushy. And this tall guy goes at the end, he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Elok just changed subjects and didn't even care. Then I went outside with my friend who he was trying to like onboard or orange pill. And the guy, I said, dude, you don't even know who you were just talking to. You're talking to Elok, this guy. He's like one of the top contributors to the protocol. And I told Elok later on at the Cypherpunk house, I go, dude, as a filmmaker, because I know he was a videographer for 10 years. I go, dude, as a filmmaker, I just saw that as a documentary like piece of footage that only I got to see. And he still didn't go, okay. I go, Elok, you don't fucking understand, man. Like, it's important to me that you did it that way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even shill, man. You just talk about what you do.
Yep.
And without even calling yourself out. So those are my two favorite moments of like watching somebody being orange pilled and then watching you with your holy shirts. Okay, that's all I got to say about that.
Man, I think I had a lot of fun just focused on, ordinal pilling and MFers. I only had one hater, though.
Who?
I only had one hater. I'm actually not going to call out his name because I think he's actually a pretty cool dude and he was probably pretty intoxicated. But he has like a ton of punks. And we were talking for a bit and then like, got through the punk talk like he was, of course, stroking his own thingy. And I wanted to end before he left. I'm like, what do you think about ordinals? And he was basically just like, fuck ordinals. I don't like ordinals. And that was really it. And he left. And it wasn't like, I don't like ordinals because of this or that. It was just like, I got my punks. I'm chilling,
Oh, I mean, I guess if I had a bunch of punks, I wouldn't care either,
Yeah.
But like
Blue,
and that was it.
well,
like that was yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say like I didn't have any haters, but Blue Toshi, my co-founder, we were at the Rug Radio Mansion party. He said that there was this guy wearing a Bitcoin shirt, and he walked up to him and he like wanted to talk about ordinals, and the guy just said, "Fuck off! I hate ordinals." and then like kind of try like it was just like, wow, that was the first interaction I had, and they just told me to fuck off. I was like, it's okay.
No, I mean, listen, I think the majority of people we all talk to about ordinals are very interested right?
They've
seen what's been happening over the past 10 to 11 months. They just don't know where the fuck to start. And the Ordinals Are Dead show is a great start.
Yes, and we're getting, yes, it is a great start. Even Bunzy said so. Bunzy, this fucking OG.
This bullet of a man.
He fucking took the time to tweet about us, and he took the time to talk to me about it. He goes, dude, I go, dude, you're a genius, and you put your ego aside, and you're talking about our show. Like, listen, it wasn't my lifelong dream to do this show, but it's my lifelong dream to keep building and introducing people that don't know each other to each other. And I want to do this as an entertainer. We're trying to entertain and make it sort of easy and fun for people to understand some of the stuff that we're talking about. So, like, I don't know, does the name Ordinals, is it like, you know, I always say this all the time. When people hear about vegan, it's like a kind of an ugly word because it has nothing to do with meat.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, is ordinal an ugly word? Because I don't look at it that way, but I'm wondering.
Maybe some do, but I don't know. Like, do you, during that whole event, though, like, did you like any other chains? Did you meet a lot of people from other chains?
Like I said, I met the bear marketer team.
They're really cool.
I met the bear marketer team, which makes me want, like, I already wanted to buy one a month ago, but the fact that they wanted to meet me, I was like, dude, I want to get one now.
They're coming to Bitcoin, by the way. You knew that, right? I have a Bitcoin bear marketer.
Yes. Okay, so one of my favorite people that I met was Hodl Solana. Hodl Solana, I'm going to tag you later if you're not watching. I'm going to tell you because I'm going to talk about you. I got invited to Tony's art studio, and I went with Rosenbaum because Rosenbaum was with me when I met Tony, and he loved Rosenbaum too. So he invited us, and I made sure I didn't go out late that night because I wanted to respect this guy like I would respect you or you to go meet you in the morning. So we got there. It was 15 miles away, and fucking Hodl Solana was there, and Sapo was there, and I got to meet him, and a bunch of others started showing up. We were the first two there, but Hodl Solana does so many things, but he is most known right now in the past couple of months for making and remixing that song when Morph went on Leap Space and said, OMB,
I don't recognize it.
I don't recognize it.
That was a tough ass remix.
And he cut it up, and I go, dude, you're him? Dude, I said, dude, I made a song and did that because I was inspired by your shit. He goes, no way. He goes, I love that. I go, dude, it was just like, that's what I like.
Organic.
You know, so, but yeah, I heard some AVAX motherfuckers were there too, and, you know, and that shit's popping off, but we're not talking about that right now.
I got real interested. I really like what Rug Radio and Decrypt are doing.
Yeah, talk about that because I missed the Pepe Basel because we went out to Trippy Labs the night before, and that was impromptu, and man, there was thousands of people in a 7 to 8 acre fucking farm, outdoor techno, girls, guys, everywhere. And I was like, dude, me, you, and 3 others were just like in a circle looking at each other, just enjoying our company. And it was great not to talk about Web3 and onboarding, but I was like, dude, in a year or 2 from now, if these are all ordinal MFers or just Web3 MFers partying like this, we're not, the whole crowd is all fucking men, dude, we have hit it. We were in the right spot.
Totally.
Where it's just hitting the world on an even kind of like, you know, fractionalized, you know, sharing space. Like, that's what I was thinking about.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't there to get girls or anything like that, although they were very attractive, but because I was just like, damn, we are in a special place. But it was so late, I fucking had to sleep in, and I missed Fake Basel because I wanted to see my friend Rare Skrilla, and I heard it was a fucking great event. So tell me about it.
Not just Rug Radio, like, they're doing really cool media stuff. It was just sick to see. I think they're all coming together with Decrypt to do decentralized media.
Did they ask you to work with? Did they ask you to work with them?
No, they're like doing their own thing. But
Man,
it was
fuck
just cool.
them, dude.
It was cool to see.
Fuck Rug Radio. Fucking with Boo? You kidding me?
IRL Alpha is the alpha, man. IRL Alpha is the alpha. But I mean, listen, all of that to say, you know, it's been an incredible year, right? And now we've hit the ordinal anniversary. Happy birthday to you, Troy.
Happy birthday,
Happy
dude.
birthday,
Happy
Troy.
birthday,
You're finally
Troy.
105.
Finally.
105.
Woo, let's get down.
All right.
Let's get down to Bitcoin.
So happy
Okay.
birthday, Ordinals. We've crushed it, right? But we cannot get complacent. And so here's a little bit of stats before we go into this a little bit more, right?
Okay.
We now have over 47 million inscriptions. $146 million has now been contributed to miners, not including sat hunters. 1 million plus JPEGs on chain, 200K plus unique wallets.
Dude, I remember when you had 20K unique wallets.
Yep. Thousands of hundreds of devs working, thousands of new full nodes, securing the network more.
Send nodes, baby.
And we got Ordi and Sats, some of these BRC20 tokens just going nuclear. We got $1 billion plus market caps. First time ever, I believe,
Yes.
on Bitcoin.
Ordi's
And of course,
leading the charge, baby.
we got a Sotheby's auction. that just
Sotheby's
happened
auction.
Boo, what do you got over there, man? What do you got? Uh-oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Hold tight, baby. Hold tight for this one. This one's going to be worth it. Get ready for some orange sugar. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ordinals. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Let's do it. Wait. Let's make a wish. Right, wait. Whoa, shit. Oh. Show them that. Can you show them the thing? Can you see that a little bit? Yeah. What are we wishing for? I want to see if I can absorb everybody's wish on the blockchain.
Not dead.
Okay. Ready? On the count of 3.
1, 2.
All right.
Happy birthday, Ordinals.
Oh my God. Oh, it tastes like pink cocaine.
Tussi.
Yo, so like, how do we feel about it, man?
Oh my gosh, man.
This year's felt like 10 years. Whew. And I can't wait till next year when there's 10 more years.
Oh my gosh, man.
I just can't believe it. Like, we're not even.
This past year has been nuts. Like, absolutely nuts. But it's been a lot of fun. Like, the most fun I've had in my life, the most challenging I've had it, like most challenging times I've had in my life, like building on Bitcoin is another fucking beast. And yeah, I don't know. I'm incredibly excited about everything that's coming next because we're just getting started. The 1 year birthday is
I'm excited, and I'm a little nervous about the onboarding of mass influx because I want to know if we can contain mostly the goodness of the space and how the MFers that are in the spaces now that we're arguing over good reason to sharpen tech and protocols and tools. And, aside from the laser eyes, who we're not faded by, although it's very interesting because they're just like fucking thorns in our ass. But like, is there going to be a divide down the road upcoming where you're going to have some shitty motherfuckers that are going to be on one side of this space, and there's going to be people like us and other people that are like us, and we're like them on another side?
There's so much. There's so many things on Bitcoin to do where it's like, I don't think it's a divide. I just think we'll all have our little corners, our little tribes, and we'll all be able to visit each other. And like, look, that tribe just made a 1000x. Like, woo, it's like our turn next. Oh, we just hit a 100x. Woo. And I feel like there's just so many meta protocols and different things and different communities going on in Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin market cap is so big. Like, there's enough liquidity for everyone to like take a slice of this cake.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so let's break down the landscape. So like last year, December 14th, an inscription went out, right? And that was the skull, the black and white pixelated skull. And that piece, December 14th, I think it was 4:32 a.m. at some time. I don't know what time Casey did that, where he was in the world, but at some place else, it was a different time zone, right? So everybody has their own birthday time for when that happened. But more importantly, that was his art.
Yep.
He made this protocol because he had a reason to do his art. It's kind of like, that forced constraint. Like, there's a constraint. Okay, he built something that could break through that constraint. And he didn't know we were going to be here to this day, like to this point right now.
Clue.
So like, in that essence, that happened. And then it wasn't really promoted, so motherfuckers that were in the know were like, okay, let's start inscribing stuff, whatever. And then I found out about it here in IRL Alpha. This is my trajectory.
Did you find out when Isabel and Rock came to speak?
I don't know, but let me tell the story. So I'm here, and Bear Snake comes here from the founder of Forgotten Ruins, and he starts talking about ordinals, and we're doing a live show, and you know me, D-Gen, I want to be a part of like everything. I want to know what's coming into my neighborhood. So I wanted to leave the show, but I couldn't because I love this show. And then I went home, found out that we were creating a Discord to help people out and discover what Sparrow wallets are and helping people and scraping for projects. And we starting to meet people, and everybody is friendly. So we're watching founders become founders and collectors become collectors. And so that ordinal landscape started happening on a day-to-day basis. Can you pick up from there in that like early January, February? Because you came in March. Mm-hmm. What was that like for you in the landscape in March? Or you can start where
he could probably go.
Yeah, go with you, because we were talking at lunch today. I said, how did you know to do your 35 pieces in your sub 10K of Bitcoin booze on uncommon sats? Like that was in March. So when I started in January, February went by. How did you know about sat hunting and all that stuff? As a founder, what were you, 20 years old at the time?
I actually was 20 years
How
old.
the fuck did you?
It wasn't my birthday yet, actually.
Okay, how the fuck did you even know about this stuff? Like, were you not in college? Were you not?
No, I dropped out. So I dropped. So when COVID hit, I couldn't focus on college. I didn't even finish my senior year when COVID hit, and I got into sneaker reselling. I dropped out of college. My friend was like, "Hey, you should check out like NFTs." That's fucking stupid. What do you mean people are selling pictures for money? Put in 2 racks, lost 2 racks. Put in 5K, came out with a lot. And then I took a fat break, and then 6 months later, after a nice meditation, like retreat away from crypto, my gut tells me, check your Discord. I'm like, okay, let me check my Discord real quick. I get an alpha call. Fill out this Google form for a Ordinals Punk. It's like native Bitcoin NFTs. I was like, native Bitcoin NFTs. Dropped everything I was doing. I was about to start an Amazon company. I dropped that instantly so I could focus on this. But everything is just like, I'm in. I love learning things. And to me, everything was, like I said, I'm intuitive. I just follow my gut. Rare sats sounded obvious. Inscribing early sub 10K sounded obvious. Pushing the space sounded obvious. It's on Bitcoin. It's obvious. Like everything to me was just really obvious. So that's why I played it as an alpha call for my holders.
Okay, and then an arc happened throughout this like long ass 10-year, 1-year fucking thing. I
feel like we should talk about how like the different categories of what's going on in Ordinals right now and how easy it actually is to get onboarded to Ordinals.
Did you want to talk about how you got into March and like how that happened?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a quick story. I think it's basically like I had been in NFTs for a while. I think probably just like Boo on other chains, and it was like I knew about Magic Eden from Solana. I've known about them for a while. I saw Magic Eden launch on the timeline. I think like March 20th was like their first day on Bitcoin. And I was like, from there, I was like, oh, that's sort of interesting. Haven't seen this before on Bitcoin. Went to the website. It said like connect wallet to Xverse, and like as soon as I saw those two experiences coupled, I was like, oh, I'm pretty much sold. Like this is like exactly, or not exactly, but this is really similar to Solana, and it's on Bitcoin, and I'm transacting in Bitcoin. This seemed pretty obvious, and that was it. I just dove in.
I started using I was using Sparrow in the beginning, and then I didn't I was trying to understand BIP39, even though I bought Bitcoin in 2015. I wasn't really focused on like BIP39 at the point. So every time I was typing in my BIP, like whatever the word was, I must have missed a character, and I didn't realize that it creates new addresses. So I had some please don't look for it. I'll fucking kill you. I'm looking for a hacker. But or a sat hunter. I lost some sub 5Ks. Like I know where they are. I just can't access them, right? Shit. So that said, I mean, March, April, May, you had, BRCs happening, and then you had like I was talking to ZK in the early months of Ordinals, and then all of a sudden he was gone, and I couldn't access him, and I was wondering what's happening. Then OMBs came out. You know what I mean? Or they were coming out, and I was like, oh my God, he's like unreachable now. So like in this month, what I can't even I just can't even remember what happened from like June, July, August.
That's fine. We could just break down like our favorite things this year for
Go ahead.
So Ordinals culture. So just to run down like the main projects, we got OMB, the king of the profile picture. It's not a fucking project. It's a movement. That is one of like the main projects that we got leading the space. I think it hit a 0.5 Bitcoin all-time high, or like close to 0.6. The second one we got Bitcoin Frogs, the first 10K free mint PFP collection on Bitcoin. Ribbit. I was bullish when we had grown men ribbiting on spaces. It's so cringe, and I love it. And I ribbited too. I also ribbited IRL at Bitcoin
Ribbit,
Miami.
Motherfucker. You can do it in a tough voice. You know what I'm saying? Little blood size, little ribbit. Go ahead.
And then we got your project. We got Ordinals.
Oh, dude.
Ordinals.
Oh, yeah, man. I can't believe. Yeah. In January.
Storytelling.
In January, for 3 of my best friends, we decided to mint half the project because we loved it, and then we wrote the lore for it. And next thing you know, 3 months later, we knew the founder. He's like, "This, I can't build this anymore." I was like, "All right, we'll take it from you." And so we did. And motherfuckers. We ain't going nowhere, and ever since then, like I only want to like do Ordinals stuff. I'll still produce movies and act in films, and I'll do some Fez stuff because we're doing that in Hollywood and stuff like that. And I'm, I do my spaces and I go fucking fly around the country. Gonna see Beeple this weekend and try to orange pill him. He'll probably kick me out. I'll probably get fucking ousted of the party. But I don't know, man. I'm not leaving this culture. I just don't even know what next year's gonna be like.
It's gonna be nutty. I think moving to some of the other projects too, like NodeMonks. We've already, I guess, talked a little bit about that. Like
NodeMonks doesn't have culture yet, but it's definitely coming. It's definitely
Bitcoin fraud.
It's the highlight mint for everyone like new watching the show. NodeMonkeys is definitely going to be one of the most interesting mints we've had this year.
What else has culture? Like I know, like Yokai Avengers, they're an AI project too. That builder, we know him. We're doing some kind of partnership. We haven't like officiated yet, but with Ordinals, because we just believe in each other's stuff. But I'm wondering, like, what other I can't even really think right now about the other projects that stick out. Bitcoin Bandits. I love Parma and I love what they're doing over there. But I'm just, what other projects am I thinking about that? Bitcoin Booze, dude. I'm sitting next to the fucking founder himself.
I mean, listen, I think like looking at like who are the apes of Bitcoin, like who are the punks, who are the miladies, like who are those sort of projects. I don't know that we have necessarily the apes, right? Maybe yet. The punks, right, I think are out for debate, right? We've been talking about the NodeMonks. We talked about it for 5 to 10 minutes on this.
Sub 10K. People say sub 10K are the punks of
Exactly. Like who are the punks of Ordinals?
Who
are the miladies? Like maybe the pups, the puppets.
No, opium were dank. Opium
so maybe those are the
miladies.
And excuse us if we're missing some. It's like we do know, but if we're at a loss for some, some of the names. But like we definitely think, like I'll look at my wallet and I'm like, oh, definitely. This project. Bitcoin Machine.
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me? These motherfuckers are just
and
like.
It's not just projects like that. We also got some pretty crazy art too.
Art. So you helped with that a lot. You brought 21 artists famous artists to the chain.
Yeah.
You got Rabbi Gaines who did some generative art back around 14 million inscriptions. I have a piece. I only got the piece because Spirit Zero put me onto it. It's right there. It's squared, and then he just did meta blends recently. If you had one of those, you got a mint from that.
You got AI art on Bitcoin, right? You got Delta Sauce as a part of Perpetuals, right? You got some one of ones with Pepelangelo that has a couple pieces as well.
Pepelangelo,
you have Gen Art with Unigraphs from Mulan. Like you have everything that you've had sort of elsewhere.
I just want to point out how
more.
like the beautiful metadata.
Oh my gosh!
Of course. With the art on Bitcoin.
You had to, man. You had to.
Well, it's not just AI. Like he goes back in and paints things in certain sections, which I think is awesome. He was at Art Basel. He came to the Cypherpunk house. I invited him there. Schmipto came. My buddy Sleestack, Coin came. Monster Mike came, Pyrene came. They all came to the rooftop, and Delta Sauce had us enwrapped. He was just talking. I mean, this is a passionate motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad that you onboarded him.
Wait, what's it like, BitGod, onboarding all these artists? Like, what are the feelings? What are the vibes? Like,
so the feelings are like honestly, they feel like it's daunting. Like, and it really is. Like
overwhelming?
Yeah, it's really overwhelming because it's like, it's all these different terms that they've never heard before. Like, what the fuck is an inscription? Like, a rare sat? Like, now you're sort of losing me. And like, do I need to have it on a rare sat? Okay, like, also, where do I sell my art once it's inscribed? And like, you have Magic Eden, you have Gamma, but like, are they the right places to release my art? Do I do it OTC? Like, there's just so many hurdles when starting in a new ecosystem that like all these artists had to do maybe 1, 2, 3 years ago on ETH. That's just totally different now.
Here's the question that comes to me. Will they come back? Will any of them come back and like, I mean, this chain ain't going anywhere, right? But will they have like, will Delta Sauce come back? Will Dirty Robot do something again?
Yeah.
And I know some people
Delta Sauce is in the ecosystem already. I see him tweeting about like Ordinals and being involved in Ordinals.
No, so
all these artists are really interested in doing that, something next. So a little alpha there, but yeah, they're absolutely thinking about it.
And we get tagged a lot, So other friends of ours are tagging us a lot when somebody has a question about onboarding and stuff like that. I'm always happy to talk about it. I'm always happy to do it in a group with you guys. Seriously, so they feel taken care of. It's not like we're the bosses of the space by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not here to extract and stuff like that. I know we need to subsist and have be able to eat and stuff like that. But I literally don't think about money. I think about how can I keep building here and how can I keep adding value and keep entertaining and do my part, learn what I can learn and lead where I can lead.
You mentioned it gets overwhelming and there's so much topics and there's so many things to do on Ordinals. That's why we got the Ordinals chat bot, baby. Train on all things Ordinals. So all you got to do is ask him a question and he will respond to all your Ordinal wishes.
Yep.
Where do people find the Ordinals chat bot?
They can find it in the Bitcoin Boost Discord. I'm also updating the chat bot. I kind of want to make it into a website or make it more available for people to invite it to all their Discords and make it free. Just because there is a lot of like It's overwhelming as fuck. So if we could use things like AI to make it easier, which is within my grasp, I will happily do that for people, and that's how we can make onboarding easier for artists.
So when I heard about his tech, I already knew about his tech, and I talked to my team, and I said, dude, guys, you have to look at this tech, and I want to buy this tech from him before he goes to market. So we bought some tech. AI world building bots. We already have a bot in there that the Machine 98 put in there, which is amazing. So now Sia, our AI bot in our Discord, has a romantic
soul. I gave
soul.
them a soul.
She has a soul, but she also has a partner.
I gave both of them souls, and they have a Romeo and Juliet relationship going on as AI bots.
And they scrape the entire Discord users' chat information from the history, and it's used into the narrative of the lore of the project that the Ordinals, let's say, have input into the LLM into their lore. Like it builds on that, right? Something like that.
But so that's all cool. Let's talk about how easy it is to get into Ordinals now. Like in terms of inscribing, in terms of buying, in terms of getting into a marketplace. So look, back in February, if you wanted a degen into low inscription numbers, you had to put your name on a Google spreadsheet, and you didn't even have to own the Ordinals to trade it. Bro, we had motherfuckers making like 3 to 4 Bitcoin profits without even touching the Ordinals because the founder, all they had to do was switch the Discord name on an ID. That was insanely stressful period of time, but fairly quickly, we already had like our first wallets coming out with X First, Leather, Hero. Like literally, if you want to get into Ordinals, it is so similar to MetaMask. It's as simple as downloading a wallet, load up that wallet with Bitcoin, go to a marketplace and connect your wallet onto the site. In terms of, let's say you want to inscribe on a Bitcoin, there's a lot of services. Every single marketplace has their own inscribing service. There's some specialized to inscribe. That's also as simple as getting your wallet, load it with Bitcoin, connect it to the site, upload your file, and it's very, very easy to use. I want to shout out Develoft and Chisel because they are one of the best inscribing tools, especially if you want to do parent-child inscribing super easily, or recursiveness with Sanji's Generate Ord tool. There's a lot of tools out there. It is also overwhelming. That's why I have the chatbot. Recursion allows us to have entire libraries of code on Bitcoin. It allows us to inscribe big files without having to break the bank by splitting it into different inscriptions and combining them. We have parent-child. You love your parent-children. You want to talk about parent-child?
Yeah, I got children. Well, it's like literal. When people were asking about what's the provenance, like, is there provenance on Bitcoin? I mean,
there is provenance on Bitcoin.
This definitely answers that. And so, like, you can inscribe your first inscription. Let's say if it's a collection, is the parent. Right, and everything subsequent on that same sat are the children.
Yeah. How it works is you have a parent inscription, and let's say this is the OG inscription. Like for me, it would be the Boo King. I want to inscribe an entire collection underneath the Boo King. There are easy services to be able to grab your parent inscription that you want as the parent and inscribe whatever you want directly under it on chain, and that allows for permanent on-chain provenance that proves the link between your children inscriptions and the parent inscription.
And you can also, if you want to, it depends on what your intent is, you can burn that parent, closing that collection on that loop forever. I mean, I don't know. You want to explain that a little bit further for some people that would want to, why would somebody want to do that?
Well, if you want, so I'm actually telling like my personal POV of why I want this. So the upcoming Bhutan collection, I'm doing full parent-child provenance. I'm eating shit, inscribing this block by block 1,750 times because to me, parent-child provenance is important. One day, I'm gonna die, but you know what's not gonna fucking die? My boo's on chain.
Yes.
How can we prove that these Bhutalian soldiers are legitimately connected to Bitcoin Boo's and the King? Because you go on chain and you see the parent-child provenance directly linking that heritage. It's sick. It's honestly so sick.
Sad endpoints. BRC20, runes. Runes aren't even.
What's exciting about some of the stuff that's coming up though? Like people want to know maybe what's coming next. What's been fun?
Runes?
You know what I mean?
Even though it's already out.
I mean,
so runes got announced today. It's not coming until April 2024.
But we have people who fork the exact code, so we do have runes early.
We do have.
They say they're gonna make it 1-to-1 like Casey's protocol, but it's like, bro, April is so far. I want to degen right fucking now.
Yeah. I think we have I just think until April, there's a lot of things that are happening. And what I'm excited about is the sort of like credibility of the unknown artists that are already building here, and then some of the leaders in the space outside of Ordinals that want to come in and be a part of the culture and be a part of the party that's happening here. That's what I'm looking forward to, is meeting people and bringing more people here about that stuff. So like New Year's predictions. Do you have any, like, are there any Ordinals New Year's predictions or any New Year's resolutions? What should we be like in this space? What is working and what isn't working as far as character, personality? Like, what isn't good for the space and what is good? Like, what do you expect?
Oh, man, some predictions. I think that what we're going to see in the next year is some of the largest raises in all of crypto are going to happen in the Ordinals ecosystem. You saw On-Chain Monkey raise about $5 million earlier today. Rise. You're going to see probably a lot more of that happening over these next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
I think you're also going to see some of the highest market caps for JPEG collections on Bitcoin.
Yes.
I think you're also going to see, many of these different meta protocols that have been launching, like bitmaps and rare sats, and in some sense are going to melt faces.
I think the phrase that comes to mind is super cycle.
Yeah, literally.
The super cycle, like
Suzu wasn't wrong about the super cycle. He was just too early.
Yeah.
Just way too early.
I think right now you have all these like presents and gifts and beautiful media and shit like that. Maybe expansion of block sizes so we can actually put like video without even thinking about how to constrain it to a certain file size, because people just want to unscribe and get to work, get to the next thing and build onto that. I want to
Bitcoin's going to 200K.
Oh, and if it can go to 200K, certainly we can probably take the time and pay for a film to be on. Like, I want to make films on Bitcoin. Like,
that would be fucking cool. Let's do it.
I want to do it. I was at a movie studio today. I had to turn off my Web3 mind and be there.
Yeah.
And when I'm there, I'm just like, that's what I want to do. Make films, put them on Bitcoin.
All right, Boo. Predictions for the next year.
Prediction for the next year: we hit the super cycle. Ordinal gains give the most disgusting fucking gains anyone has ever seen in their life ever. I was here for the 2021, 2022 bull run, and the feeling I get in my gut just looking at all of this. We have the presidential election next year. Our god Satoshi Nakamoto managed to line up the happening for every 4 years during the during the U.S. presidential election. That's gonna be fucking ridiculous. Ordinal shitcoins, runes, these casinos are going to melt faces. They're going to go back into Ordinal JPEGs, which are going to melt more faces. And everyone's going to be nice and happy. And then we're going to have AGI and AI that become sentient digital entities who like Ordinals and maybe use the Lightning Network to transact and get paid in their fully autonomous AI companies with Bitcoin, and trade Ordinals as well, because I'm going to make AI that degens, and it's going to spread like a virus, and we're going to have a fully on-chain AI ecosystem that humans could participate in.
I see a bright future, and I think I'm not wrong in that category when everybody shares that opinion. For me, I just think like I want to stay involved, of course, and I want to build Ordinals and build with you guys and build with everybody else and just like help people and then like collab and just like, fucking unify and just help where I can. I just want onboard, talk more like this, do this show. Bring people on. When I'm not here, I want somebody to take my place.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because I'm
Pass the
going
torch.
to be gone for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be visiting my mom, so I won't be doing that much content over here. I'll be back in January. And I did want to say, and before I promised, not I promised, but I wanted to talk about Satributes and his wife Dee Dee are doing cipher prints, which is this amazing 222 collection with like 5 different sats. Really beautiful. Look up cipher prints. You'll find them online. That is minting on the 20th. I think some people have whitelists. It's very inexpensive. If you haven't seen it, try to get on that whitelist. And I wanted to mention that. I think what Satributes and his wife doing, like they are a married couple and they both work as partners in this space. Like cool. They should make a videotape on how marriages work in Web3. That's what I'll say about that. What content are you working on to this week? Anything else?
Yeah, no, I'm working on a bunch of content for this next week on what sort of the next focus is for Quadrillion and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, I'd love to help you in any form or fashion.
Of course, and I'd love to help you as well.
I will not take a cut. I don't take cut. I have my own money.
Gib lore.
And for you, buddy, what's up for you?
I'm working on the Boo Tower.
And Ordinals have their galactic passes airdrop. None of the holders have to do anything. You can go to sleep, take a crap. It'll end up in your wallet. We are going to the moon with that, literally, because we're a fucking space anime collection sub 8K. Fuck the world, blood. So, other than that,
happy birthday.
Happy fucking birthday. Thanks for showing up. Come in here. We'll see you next week.